Hey, Bunker Labs, welcome to an all-in interview. I can't wait for you to hear about our next entrepreneur and how their company is responding to COVID-19. I would like to welcome Jack Hastings from Arrow Gastropub up in Seattle, Washington. Hey, Jack.
Hey, Elizabeth, how are you?
I'm good.
It's great to talk with you.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks so much for joining us. I know that you guys have a lot of stuff that you are working on, so taking this time out, we really appreciate it. Can you give us a little bit of an introduction, though, to Axe and Arrow and yourself and your military affiliation, those years of service?
Absolutely. My partners and I began this restaurant 2019. We're a three-part retired Army Special Forces group at Fort Lewis in Okinawa. We've got 59 years of combined service between the two of us. And our third partner is a fire captain. And he's still currently serving and working and commuting to California, where he works as a fire captain in Chino. We decided to do this for a number of reasons, but one of the most important was community service. I had great experiences here on the peninsula in Washington and the Tacoma area. We actually live in Gig Harbor. Folks have always been very generous and very supportive of the military here. And so when I thought of opening a restaurant, doing something, I first thought of this area. And so one of our, tenets of our business is the community support, community outreach. Before the COVID-19, we were doing charity dinners to support local organizations. When this happened, we thought, well, let's focus that effort on helping the needy in the community. We have it's a bit of a low-income area. It's an industrial area downtown here, big Navy Yard. It's rural, so there are a lot of people here that are hurting right now for food, and food is something that we can provide. We've got a great chef. Business was really good. Very popular, great support from the locals when we opened, and there are a couple of veteran organizations in the area, including Bunker Labs, that are helping us with advice on advertising, marketing, logistics. And just last weekend, we banded together with another restaurant, and we've raised quite a bit of donations just in the past 4 days. That has allowed us to begin to provide 40 meals a day to a local service called the ARC that helps disabled people that are shut in or unable to fend for themselves. And so this food is going to them. We are going to expand that to first responders, hospital staff, and other charitable organizations that are providing meals to those that can't get out and get it on their own.
That's really amazing, and a fast response. Also, Jack, being a pretty much new business, right? You only opened 10 months ago at Axe and Arrow Gastropub. So can you also talk about, I know that you provided 40 meals this morning. We were talking about this earlier. Can you also talk about the different organizations and people that you're serving and how you see this playing out for the rest of the pandemic?
Absolutely. We, being good Army, well-trained individuals, we put our heads together early on. So back in mid-February, when we saw the indications that there may be a shutdown, that we may be affected by this virus as it spread, we built a plan. We built a strategy. We looked at likely course of action and worst case scenario, and we. As a result, I think we were well prepared when our governor ordered dining in, banned until May 4th. He did that on March 15th. So we immediately went to takeout and delivery, and we had to lay off virtually all of our staff, but we really saw that as the best thing for them because we couldn't give them the hours. So there were no hours because the restaurant was closed, so we couldn't pay them. And so we helped them navigate the unemployment process here in Washington. so they could go on what's called standby here, which allows them to work hours as needed, with the hope of bringing them back as soon as possible. With this effort that we started this week, the Kitsap Frontline Meals effort, we're going to be able to bring them back. We've already talked to 2 today that we're going to start bringing back tonight, and so we're going to get some of those folks back to work with this. We hope that by mid-May we will be able to, probably with some restrictions like 6-foot table spread and no sitting at the bar and those kinds of things, but that we'll be able to get back to work, get back to serving meals here in the restaurant.
That's great to hear. And it's also just kind of, kudos to you for helping your staff also through this process. It can be very daunting, and just create a lot of anxiety. So definitely, kudos to you for doing that and for helping your staff through this, and also the communication. It sounds like communicating with them through the process. And Jack, as we look at our Bunker Labs community, and I know that you are, up to speed with them in Washington in our chapter, but what would be your advice to other entrepreneurs, in our larger community, to keep going right now and to find those little opportunities like you're doing to serve within your community again?
Well, through this effort, we found that there are a lot of people in the community that want to help. They just don't know how to. And, our partner in this, when he reached out to the local banks, that was exactly the response that they got. We would love to donate. We were hoping somebody would call. We didn't know how to help. And so I think, there are definitely people in the community that want to help restaurants in particular, or the entertainment industry, stay in business and weather this period where we're essentially, unable to do what we were established to do. And I'd say, use the skills that you learned in the military. One thing that we realized going into this, we had no restaurateur experience. We were not experienced restaurateurs. Some people thought we were crazy. A couple Army guys and a firefighter establishing a restaurant. We got a lot of, hey, good luck. Good luck with that. But we, I think we really learned what we were taught in the military, which was planning, best case scenario, worst case scenario, having a good strategy, listening to people, serving or working together as a team, and all of those skills that we learned, I think, are what has made us successful. We didn't let anybody tell us, hey, you can't do that because you don't have the experience. Well, you have to start somewhere. And the restaurant industry is tough, but it's not impossible. And I really think our military training really set us up for what has become a very successful endeavor. And then, military veterans, we were trained and to deal with adversity. And so in the face of this, isn't an option for us. We're going to do that. We were going to go down fighting, and we started looking for ways to stay alive, to keep the business going while helping the community. And this was so far this week. I mean, literally, it's been less than a week we've been doing this actively, but it's really taken off. And we hope that we can grow it and continue to help other groups here in the community.
Well, Jack, thank you so much for, sharing the story of Axe and Arrow Gastropub and what you guys are doing in response to COVID to help and serve your community. Continue to do that after I don't even want to guess on the combined number, I'm going to get that wrong, of service between you and your other 2 partners. But last word to you is, how can we help? How can we spread the word at Bunker Labs about what you're doing and helping, your community and our community as a whole?
Well, we really appreciate the opportunity to do this interview with you and to have Bunker Labs, in our corner. Jake Tozier was super enthusiastic about helping us get the word out, and that's really what love to have is just folks visit our Facebook at Axe and Arrow Gastropub, or our Instagram or Twitter, or our website at www.axeandarrow.com. and share that with their friends. Just pass the post along. and our KidSap Frontline Meals campaign. Just getting the word out, getting folks talking about it would really help, and we would appreciate it.
Great. Well, thank you, Jack. And we will make sure to drop the links below so that you can find Axe and Arrow Gastropub on social and on their website. Jack, thank you so much. And we look forward to hearing some updates soon.
Great. Thanks, Elizabeth. Great to talk with you. Take care.
You too.